dealer at.
Mornings with Matt and Bob are back in. Happy to have a very special guest, Michael Rapaport. We spoke to him on the phone when he first was booked this, and things were weird in the spring. Great to have him in studio. It's been a blast.
Right. Okay.
We chatted a little bit,
Yes.
right? And I think you might have been the first guest.
It was weird.
This business is
Weird
weird.
times.
So we
I
had just
remember.
rearranged and had a new show name, and I don't know. I don't even want to go back there, but
We're here now.
we're here. And we were talking off air because you did a live show. You got to host the Wendy Williams show, which it's not live, but you're in front of a live
No,
studio audience.
it's live.
It's
It's live on television, and it was fun doing it. Because number one, it was just never something that I thought I would be doing, was guest hosting for her, a live television show. It was just bugged out. This is incredible. There's an adrenaline, part of my entourage that we talked about earlier will tell you that, it's probably like, oh, Rapaport's energy just turned up because I'm on the radio. It's live radio.
Right.
Live comedy shows, which I'm doing this weekend at Cap City Comedy. That was what we call a plug.
Well done.
And
CapCityComedy.com.
CapCityComedy.com. 2 shows tonight, Friday. 2 shows tomorrow night, Saturday. Fantastic show last night. But when you're doing live television, like for me, I was like, this is bugged out. Like, this is crazy. I am hosting a television show where anything could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Wendy fainted on live TV.
Oh, yeah.
Anything could happen on live. You could trip, you could curse, and I don't have ADD, but like part of me is like, I'm gonna just like, what if I do say F this, F that?
Is there the voice in your head once you go live where you can hear your mouth talking, but there's always, when you're in live, something live like this, there's a separate voice that's going on as well, and is that one just going, dude, just say F.
The
Just say
fifth
F.
grader
Just say
in
F.
me,
Exactly.
the person who got kicked out of all the schools,
is in there.
He's in there. He's in there. So it was just fun. It was cool. It was a great experience. I like to talk pop culture. I have fun with that. I love, all that stuff. So it just was a dope experience and a fun experience. And, to do it over and over and over. I did it like 30 live shows. It was cool.
How did your name come up? Do you know? Were you connected, or how did?
You know what happened is I guessed. I was a guest, just a regular guest, promoting something with Wendy, and then before she started having issues with the show, what she was going through, and I don't make light of it because I think her issues are really serious. Yeah. I believe her issues are really serious, but they were like, oh, there's going to be guest hosts for 2 weeks. After I did the episode with her on, they were like, oh, would you ever guest host? I was like, hell yeah. And then I did one. This was like maybe 2 years ago. And then when they started having full-time guest hosts, they were like, you want to come back for 2 days? And they were like, you want to come back for a week? And I was like, yeah, you available for this week? No, I'm not available for this week. I'm available for that week. And it just, people like me.
Do you see yourself moving in that direction? Or would you be open to it if somebody said to you?
I love it.
Do a nighttime talk thing? Or
I would love it. And since James Corden is being exposed as being the little prick that he is, the host on Channel 2, the little cherub-faced, I'm just a smiley little British guy. Now it's coming out that he
is he the guy that karaoke's in the car?
Oh, he karaoke's, he sings.
Yeah, but he's in trouble right now because he's apparently abusive to waitstaff, which is a no-no for us in this show.
Right? Yes, but I now it's coming out that he might be just abusive in general. But on the air, he's just, I'm just a cherub. Oh, I love Lady Gaga.
He's friends with Paul McCartney.
I love Paul McCartney, Sir Paul McCartney. I'm friendly, and I'm just from London. I'm a little chubby, little sweet, little British guy. So he's leaving soon. So why don't they get somebody who doesn't fake jacks and try to act like he's a nice guy like myself? Or
get what you get. Yeah,
get what you get. Like I'm not even abusive. I like I could be moody in this time, but I don't really I don't really bother anybody too much. Instead
There's
of getting
a safety too. If I hire somebody like you, there aren't going to be surprises like him going on. Like they know what they're getting, and they're like it's and then you don't have to send out someone from PR saying, "Oh, we're so sorry."
Oh,
you just
so
go,
sorry
it's
because
Rapaport.
everybody thought I was just a sweet little British guy, and I just loved Justin Bieber, and I cried when I had J-Lo in the car and called karaoke, and I know Paul McCartney. How could I be abusive to a waiter? Because I'm just a sweet little chubby little British guy.
Yeah, no, it's Rapaport. Rapaport films you while you're filling up duffel bags in a CVS, and then chases you down the street, going,
Exactly.
"Look at this." this F. Look at this F.
Yes. As opposed to James Corden, who's like, oh, I'm just so sweet and likable, and I'm just so friendly, and I would never be abusive to anybody. And talking, this is below me. Bull.
It's the accent.
Bull crap. Go eat a biscuit and some tea and
scone.
all that.
It's a
bull.
scone.
Yeah, go eat a scone. Bull crap. I always had a feeling that this guy was something else.
No, the accent gets Americans no matter what.
Do you have to audition anymore when
We're
you
suckers for that accent.
when you go up for a role? Because I imagine in Hollywood, at times a writer will go, "We need a Michael Rapaport type."
Yeah, for the most part, I don't. But
Atypical was fantastic. That was a show that my wife and I watched religiously.
Thank you. Very, very good show.
Good
Proud of
acting
that
in
show. You know, I just realized since you said that, once you said I had a dream last night about my friend and coworker who I was enamored with, and I was talking about being excited working with Jennifer Jason Leigh because I was such a fan of hers before I worked with her on Atypical, and I just realized when you said that she was in my dream last night, and her hair was jet black, and I was like, "Why is your hair black?" She goes, "I'm working." That's my dream. Yeah. That's the extent of my dream.
Yeah, that works. What? So I'm going to kind of pivot back to that because we've gotten and everybody's seen the full study. But you said you really like acting, and you've had some really broad roles too, and it's fun to see you pop. I mean, I saw you pop. My wife was like, "Oh, we got to watch the show. We got to watch the show called Only Murders in the Building."
Loved it.
Okay, and at first I was like,
fun, right?
I don't know. Hilarious, well written, well acted, and one of the things that show did that we haven't seen in a long time, or sometimes gets missed, is actual deep characters, right?
Yeah.
To have a character that is a flamboyant actor who only eats dips, I mean, that's when you're really diving into getting into deep. But you appear, and you were fantastic because it's kind of what we needed in that show at that moment because it started to get, not to sound critical, that show could get twee in a hurry, right?
Yes.
It could get a little NPR-ish.
Yes.
And then we get a kind of brutal Flatfoot that you were playing showing up, and it was really nice to see you make that turn. But also, when you think about something like Atypical, I mean, you have a much broader range than I think the average person's going to expect from you.
Right.
From your appearances on Stern. Here, you hide some of your intelligence, don't you?
100%. I appreciate that. I love Only Murders in the Building. I was reluctant to watch the first season because I assumed whatever I assumed. My wife was watching it, and I was like, and then I caught up and then went back, and I was like, I love the first season.
It's good.
It's funny, unique, quick.
Laugh out loud moments, and I usually don't. And about some really stupid stuff that I usually wouldn't laugh at, and I was like, I didn't see it coming, and it caught me.
You know, Steve Martin is one of the co-creators. This guy's...
His brain works on another level.
Is it Hulu?
Yes.
Well, okay.
It's incredible.
I got to watch this.
It's incredible.
It's just a fun show. It's just a fun, dope, unique. It's fast, which is important these days.
Yeah.
Because our brains, our attention spans have been shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And they came in the second season. I was like, hell yeah. And the first day I showed up on set, in walks Steve Martin, who, if you asked me my top 10 people, I wouldn't think of Steve Martin, but when he walked in, I was like, yo, that's Steve Martin. Like, I was tripping.
Change the game.
And I'm like, and immediately, like, the kid in me is like, that's that wild and crazy guy from when it was like Saturday Night Live, and I didn't, I was just like him with his, all those bits, and then the jerk and all that stuff. And he's 76. He looks great. Sharp, and he was so into it and working so hard. And then Martin Short came in.
Another game changer.
Same thing. And I just was like, I'm a fan first. My whole idea of becoming an actor, I was a fan. I wanted to be a basketball player. So growing up, I was a fan of these people. So when I'm there, like, there's a part of me that's like, yo, I'm like, at 52 and still doing this for 30 years, there's a big part of me that's like, I can't believe I'm having this opportunity.
You still get to have those moments.
It's all the time.
Great.
So I'm not going to say I'm having one here now with you guys.
No, I get it.
It's okay. You don't want to embarrass yourself. I know that I can see it in your eyes that you're having that feeling, but you don't have to say it out loud.
Right. But with Steve Martin and Martin Short, I was tripping. And then they're like, Michael, what's up? And I'm like, my name? Like, I'm like bugging out off that. And they're like, oh, we like you in this, we like you in that. And I just had a fun time. It was a fun, when you get to play characters where you could, say crazy things. Like the character was saying wild things to Selena Gomez, and and I'm like, this is like this pop star with 300 million followers, on Instagram. She's a worldwide pop star.
But she's also an incredible actress.
She
did
did.
In that show. I thought for sure I was like, "Oh, is this a bad casting?" Because before I saw it, you just see the preview, and I was like, "I don't know about this." And then I watched it, and I was like, "Oh, she's really good."
She's really good. She's funny, and she gets it. But I'm like the character's like F you to Selena Gomez and F you that. And she's like this nice little pop star, and I'm talking to her crazy. That's fun, and I like the show. I really like the show. I'm gonna watch next season. I don't usually watch. I watched this season because I wanted to keep, in tune with what was going on.
What's coming up for you?
Continuing doing the road. I'm on the road doing these shows right now. There's a show where it's no need to talk about it because we haven't started shooting that, I'm getting ready to start doing. But right now it's focusing on these shows, my podcast, because I have a podcast like everybody else in the world, the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast.
Oh, stereo. Yeah.
In stereo.
Nice.
See, most people...
Good move.
They don't have stereo
They
sound.
go mono to try to save the space.
So if you've got stereo headphones or ear pods, this is a perfect show for you.
100%.
Yeah, that's a brilliant move.
100%. And so I'm doing that. I'm on tour doing the shows. We got 4 shows this weekend, fighting off the crowds and the traffic here in Austin with the F1 crowd. Like, what do you guys? What's the take on local people?
They don't know we're here. They don't know we're here.
No, the F1.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
World.
It's a lot of people. And
it's
a lot
a
of
ton
traffic.
of people, but everybody comes in from here. Nobody from town really can afford that event that much. So it just is something else that happens out there.
It's like an event.
It's a thing that's and it's good. But even like Natalie, who you saw, she works at a bar at night, and she's like, it's mainly people from Europe. They don't tip, so we're packed. But she's like, and I'm seeing some of the like beautiful people. And they got money; they're running tabs, but it's not necessarily great for me or whatever. And I don't mean to disparage. Like it's nice to have things. It's nice to have things in the city. But you were saying earlier in the earlier segment, you were like, "Well, we're not really in the sticks." And here's the thing: I'll tell you about Austin.
Tell me about it.
There's downtown. Point your car in any direction and drive for 10 minutes, and you will be shocked at how quickly you go from the city to the sticks. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, I got you.
So it's not like Manhattan, where you just end up in another city, or you can drive for 3 hours on Long Island or whatever.
Right.
I mean, basically, it goes. You go to Staten in 10 minutes, and then you go to somewhere way out in Pennsylvania 5 minutes past there.
And that's where we get to the fun stuff.
It gets fun.
Okay,
that's where the good barbecue is.
Yeah.
God, is it really?
Yeah,
a lot of it.
Now let me ask you a question. If I was gonna eat, now I'm here. I want one.
Okay.
Because I'm only here for 2 more days, and I'm not gonna eat. Because I asked this question, and people are like, go to these 9 places. I'm like, I'm gonna go to barbecue once while I'm here.
You're gonna get 3 different answers.
Okay, but if I get 3 different answers, can I get one answer from all 3 of you?
Here's what I'll tell you, because you want to be able to get in. There's some great barbecue places where there's gonna be a wait and a line, and you don't have time.
We're not doing that. Who? I don't wait for.
They won't let you wait. They won't make you wait.
I don't.
Didn't they make Obama wait?
They made Obama wait at Franklin. I think Obama got to cut the line. I think
someone let him in the line.
They considered, they thought about it. Then they said, "Okay, we'll let him cut the line."
Something like that.
I don't want to go to this place.
It's fantastic.
Is it really?
It's really good.
So, like,
but
what kind of wait are we talking about? 15 minutes?
Well, people are already been in line for a couple hours already.
We're not doing that.
There are people standing in line listening to you on their headphones right now.
Isn't there a place in the cut?
Are you staying by the club, or are you staying downtown?
Okay.
That's one of my many staff talking in the background. Steve, he's the head of security.
I saw the piece.
I think because of where you are, we should send you Interstellar.
Because
Interstellar, I'll
Interstellar.
back that up.
Yeah.
What, are we talking line there?
No, you can get in.
If there is, there's a 30 minutes at the most.
Okay, Interstellar.
Yeah,
Interstellar.
Yeah, because it's near where you're staying. If
you were south,
I'd
say Valentina's. Find that, but that's way
Micklethwaite,
south.
if you're down. I mean, there's a billion. Look, we're
lucky.
An embarrassment of riches when it comes to food in this town. Incredible tacos, the best Tex-Mex in the world you'll find here.
Right,
incredible barbecue, so much of the good stuff. But
what about tacos here? I mean, if they're really, really good.
Yeah, the problem with that is now I can't give you one. I can't give you one.
There's too many.
I can't give you one. I
Too
can
many
tell
trucks,
you.
too many-
Can tell you that the nicer the restaurant looks, the farther away you want to stay from.
I got you.
Okay.
The best tacos for me, like when I was living full time in LA, even when I was in Tijuana. Working, you're like, Tijuana, wait, where are we going with this? The Donkey Show? No, we're not talking about the Donkey Show. But when I was working in Tijuana shooting something, the best tacos, but even in LA, street tacos.
Yeah.
Like the dude like who's like brought out the little thing and they're selling, those are always.
There's a place called Mi Trailita, which just moved into a place, like out of a trailer and into a brick and mortar. In the parking lot,
That's
there's
what I'm talking
always
about.
somebody who's shooting up in the parking lot.
That's what I'm talking
and
about.
it is a horrifyingly scary experience to go
That
in this
tastes
place.
good.
The tacos are incredible,
Well,
right?
they're only-
But you know, and that you'll be fine because
I need
you know
the
how to
dude-
walk. You're from New York.
I need the dude who's shooting up to be making the tacos. Because send me to the guy. I want the guy shooting up who's actually making the tacos. Do you have that?
Like we can get it for you.
Okay.
We can get it for
Because
you.
otherwise, why play games?
Well, I was going to say that's actually just Thundercloud subs. That's any of the employees at the sub at
That's what I
Thundercloud.
need. Because otherwise, you might as well just go to Taco Bell. I want the guy who's doing the drugs intravenously making the tacos.
We gotta allow that. Yeah, I'm very sad to say this, but we got to wrap up.
gosh.
Well,
It's
this is
Friday.
great.
Cap City, ladies and gentlemen.
You're a blast to have in here.
Thank you.
It was so exciting when we first heard from your PR people earlier that you were going to be in town.
PR team.
Team.
It was 30 or 40 people we had to go through to get you booked here
Just
today.
to get me booked.
Yeah, and then
And that's just the PR team.
that's just the PR team. We're not talking about hair and makeup.
We're not talking about think tank, any of that stuff. Security,
Financial team.
writers. Of course, I come with since it's been exposed, I come with a whole crew of Juminati people. They just kind of blend into everything. We're still trying to keep that secretive. But yeah, the team's big. It's long, it's deep, and yes.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's Michael Rapaport. Check out his podcast. Check out all the stuff he does. If somehow you just found out about him today, I hope that we made a huge fan, and go see him at Cap City Comedy Club.
2 shows
If there's
tonight.
a single available seat left, that reflects poorly on you. We'll find you, and we'll have you killed.
2 shows
Thank you
tomorrow.
very much, man. Thank
Thank
you
you
very
guys.
much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Lift kits, window tinting, and custom services. Mornings with Matt and Bob in studio is brought to you by Empanadas. Available in the frozen food aisle of your favorite grocery store. And Renegade Truck Accessories, your source for truck caps, bed covers, lift kits, window tinting, and custom services. Mornings with Matt and Bob in studio is brought to you by Empanadas. Available in the